that's coming. Well, I will be free. And that is our hope. That we live in a world that sometimes things don't go exactly as they should, but we have this burning hope. We have this joyfulness inside of us that God is with us. But sometimes circumstances can be such that maybe we're back. That maybe our hope is shaken. That the circumstances that I see do not point to this bright, wonderful future. The things coming at me are bringing me down, and my hope is shaken. So what do I do when my hope is shaken? Well, first of all, I remind myself that God is with me. Matthew 28:20 says this, "Surely I am with you always to the very end of the age." God is with me. God is for me. Romans 8:31 says this, "If God is for us, who can be against us?" God is in control. Psalm 71:5 says, "For you have been my hope, sovereign Lord, my confidence since my youth." God is with me. God is for me. And God is in control. When all these things coming at me and telling me that things aren't going the way they should, and my future is not what I want my future to be, I have to remind myself that God is with me. God is for me. And God is in control. And as I can embrace this understanding of who God is and how He is with me, then I am free to enjoy the good things that come my way. Yes, there are bad things that come my way. We've all experienced. Anybody here ever not experienced a bad thing in life? I mean, they come our way. But sometimes we can be so focused on those things, we keep forgetting or we don't see that so many good things are coming my way. So many of God's blessings are there before me. His goodness doesn't stop. But I don't see them because I'm so focused on the things that are hindering me. So focused on the things that I don't want. How many good things have I missed in life? Because I was anxious and I was worried that things weren't going to work out the way I wanted them to. I have to remind myself that God is with me, that God is for me, and that God is in control. There's a saying, I think it actually became a song. It says, you got to dance like there's nobody watching, love like you'll never be hurt, sing like there's nobody listening, and live like it's heaven on earth. The guy that wrote that, his name is Perky. I think it's appropriate. It sounds kind of perky to me to have that kind of a saying. I think that was a country song also, was it? Any country fans out there? Good. No. Well, this is metaphorical. Because I don't dance. And you'll never hear me sing, I guarantee that. But it's this understanding that the basics of my life are taken care of. I don't have to worry about that because God is with me. Because God is for me. And God is in control. So I can enjoy to the fullest every good thing that comes my way. Even the small things. And I think as I get older, I realize it's the small things. The small good things that are really the good things in life. That really bring joy to us on a consistent basis. Romans 8:28 says this. This is my favorite verse. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. So not only is God with me, not only is He for me and in control, but all the things in my life, He is working for the good, for His purposes. There's a story about a king. This is on a far out southeastern Pacific island tribal king. And he was out with his servant. His servant had a very positive attitude. His servant saw good in everything. And so he's out there and his servant is loading his rifle for him and he misloads the rifle. The gun explodes and blows the king's thumb. And the king is angry at his servant. So look what you've done to me. And the servant said, oh, no, that's good. He says, what is good about that? He was so angry, he banished his servant to this far out island, all by himself, away from his family, his children, and his friends. So several months later, the king's out hunting again. He gets captured by a rival tribe who are cannibals. And so they're tying him up, and they're going to cook him, and they're going to eat him. And they realize he has a missing thumb. And it's a bad omen to eat someone. If you didn't notice, you didn't hear it. It's a bad omen to eat someone that has a missing part. So they let the king go. And the king realized it was so good that my thumb was blown off. It was good. So he went to the island where this servant was, and he begged him, said, I'm sorry. I was wrong, you were right. I'm sorry, I banished you to this island. The servant said, no, it's good you banished me. He says, how can it be good? He says, well, if I wasn't banished, I'd have been with you when those cannibals caught you. Okay, that's a little simplistic. Okay? It may not be the greatest theology, but you get the point. God is working in our lives. Sometimes we can't see it. Sometimes we don't connect the dots so easily. And sometimes things are just hard cases. We cannot see how in the world that God could be working in this situation. And so we have to go back to that verse where it says, and we know that in all things God works for good. We know it. We don't always see it. We can't always figure it out. But we know that in all things God works according to his purposes. Let's watch this video and we'll hope that it plays.
It was supposed to be a very, very beautiful day. But what we saw told another story.
Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror. The pictures of airplanes flying into buildings have filled us with disbelief, terrible sadness, and a quiet, unyielding anger.
Even me as a Christian cop, I was hurting. Had a pastor go beside me too. You know? Where did he go? Where's Jesus now? You know?
And so we're on the search for God. Where are you?
You know, we were attacking the pile from 4 different angles. And the main thing at that time was for people to, we're trying to get into the core of the building.
And we dug our way down, and there was a cavern of steel and rubble that was hollowed out inside the ground. And there were seats and benches made out of steel. It was like an amphitheater. And inside of that were 4 crosses that stood straight up and down, made out of steel. They found the cross. And we heard about that.
Stands.
People would come to this place. They were spray painted on the side, God's house. There was hope in the midst of all of that decay. Somehow, in all of that darkness, God's light shone through.
And people that day, no matter where they were, they stopped. The cross was standing strong, tall.
think certainly we as humans, we can't figure out why everything happens that happens, or how God's going to use it. Or maybe you feel that way about your own life. Maybe right now there's some confusion. You don't understand what's going to happen, or how it's going to happen, or how God is working in your life. But we who have faith in Jesus, we have this assurance that no matter what the situation is, that God is with us. God is with us. God is for us. And God is in control. And sometimes we just take that by faith. Because you know what? If we could see it, it really wouldn't be faith, would it? That God has called us to live this life with faith. So if you're in a difficult situation right now, things aren't going that well, I just want to assure you right now that God is with you. He is with you. He's right there in the middle of whatever it is that you're experiencing. Sometimes our hope is shaken, but point number 3, hope that is realized is worth the wait. Isaiah 49:23 says this, "Then you will know that I am the Lord. Those who hope in me will not be disappointed." Those who hope in Him will not be disappointed. I don't know about you, but I hate to wait. But I have this promise. If I continue to follow Jesus, if I continue to live the life He's called me to live, that in the end, I will not be disappointed. Hope realized in this world is a wonderful experience. This is actually your next point there. Psalm 85:9 says this, "Surely His salvation is near those who fear Him, that His glory may dwell in His land." Surely His salvation is near. Put your hope and your trust in Jesus Christ. No matter what the situation is, and you will see His salvation. He will not be disappointed. I don't think there's any human experience more powerful than having a hope fulfilled. I don't know if there's an experience more powerful than praying for something and praying for something, and then experiencing that in your life. Whether it's the salvation of a loved one, the restoration of a broken relationship, a healing, whether it be physical or emotional, the finding